Join.
Share. Come on. All right, you are on.
Alrighty, so this evening we're just going to go over some nuts and bolts, some of the stuff, or some of the information that we compiled from parents from in the spring, concerns, questions. I put it into this little presentation. It's a PowerPoint that you're all going to receive after we're finished. And it does have the links embedded in, so it will be a tool for your toolbox to have handy through distance learning. Although you can go to the website and get to the information as well. You'll have this, and it'll be a little bit easier for you to access it from, it might be easier for you to access this all from this one particular place. So some of the things we're going to cover tonight quickly will be over open house, supply list, how to navigate the website, virtual learning, the actual schedule, campus learning, our Campus Learn to navigate the whole learning experience, student expectation, parent expectations, special school district information, Edgenuity for those who committed to the semester-long virtual experience before we chose to go virtual. And then there's going to be an opportunity where we're going to share contact information. So if you have any questions, we can compile those and get those back out to parents. A lot of parents may have the same questions that aren't here, or it's just an easier process for us to get that streamlined is doing it by email.
The longest talk.
And then we'll have some closing thoughts from the adults that are involved. So opening remarks, first off, thank you for joining us. We're very excited to see faces again, friendly faces. I know this, it's going to be an interesting year for us, but I also think it's going to be an amazing year for us. Our teachers have been working diligently to make sure that this learning experience is very memorable and that it's very meaningful for all their students. There's been a lot of collaboration. I mean, there has been a lot of excitement on the teachers' parts. It's hard work, it's different work, but at the same time, they're showing a lot of enthusiasm toward their work. And I've never seen anybody get so excited over making Bitmojis to put in classrooms and making the learning experience for the kids more exciting. So that's been really great to watch. The growth of teachers' confidence in their use of technology has been amazing as well. So basically tonight, it's just nuts and bolts of the middle school, navigation of the web pages, and then a compilation of information to pass all along to you to have through the distance learning. This Thursday, our open house continues with the Meet the Teacher night. 8th grade will
Oh, goodness.
the cornfield struck again.
Are you good now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I feel like a cell phone commercial. Can you hear me now? 8th grade Meet the Teacher will be Thursday at 7. You will be getting Zoom invites to that. It's a brief showing of faces to familiarize the kids with the teachers who they'll be working with before they actually have to go to class and actually start working with the teachers. Teachers will share just a little bit of information, and then that'll pretty much cover everything. They're not going to go into curriculum and in depth about what's going to happen this year, because that could take an extensive period of time. People get excited about their subject areas and sharing that out when they've made big plans. So we're going to try to keep it to a minimum for everybody. And we know these last few nights are very busy nights for families, so we're going to try to respect that as well. School supply and material pickup. Monday, we are starting our school supply pickup. Any items that you have here, our PTO have been gracious enough to provide each student with a planner. And there are other materials that need to be picked up, science books, math books, resources for kids that are taking Spanish. That'll all take place out front of the middle school. We've checked the weather. Monday's supposed to be a beautiful day, sunny. 85 degrees. So we'll have stations set up for 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade to pick up their supplies. Those of you who know where I am in the building, I'm in the front, so I may open the window to say hi. It's going to be contactless though. So if you have any questions, you can tap on my window and I can open it and we can chat a little bit as well. It'll be just really nice to see people in person again on campus. So that is going to be set up out front. It will be contactless. And if people need other times, we plan on extending times for pickup too. It's not just limited to Monday, but Monday's our first day. And we want to see how that goes and see how much is picked up on that day and then set another date following. The picture next to that school supply list, that is actually a link. When you click on that, when you receive the PowerPoint, it will take you to the middle school webpage that has the list of the 3 different grade levels and their supplies that are required for virtual learning. The supply list might look a little different for virtual learning than what you've seen in the past. And there will be things probably included on that list that they won't need now, but they will eventually need when we come back in November. I did say when we come back because I'm being very positive and hopeful. So that's what we are working on. That's the guidelines that we are working towards. So in my mind, we are coming back in November. All righty, next page. Okay, navigating the website. When you go to the district's main page, the picture you see in your upper left-hand corner, the Valley Park School District's distant learning, that is a bar that scrolls through in the upper left-hand part of the district's web page on the front page. If you click on that, it will take you to everything you need for distance learning. The page that it takes you to on the distance learning page on the right-hand side, from the top to the bottom of the page, has all the different resources you'll need, including student schedules, whether it be elementary, there's a tab for that. There's a student schedule for a secondary, that's where we'll be. It'll be included on that. There's also a tab for student expectation, teacher expectation, or not teacher, but they're on their own, but parent expectation, student expectation, counselor, if you need to speak with a counselor, need to fill out a counseling form. There's just all kinds of resources on that page, and it's very easy to navigate once you know exactly what to click on. When you go to the middle school webpage, what comes up is that the box below that, Congratulations Valley Park Middle School. That's what you'll see when you click on our page. Also, the links down the side where it says 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, those are links that are also embedded in this PowerPoint that you can click on, and it will take you to each of the grade levels websites. So you can check out any information you need to know, whether you have an 8th grader or you might have a 6th or 7th grader also as well. So just to make things a little bit easier, this page on the PowerPoint kind of groups everything together that should be helpful to you. Oh, this is what our distance learning page looks like. Yay, it came up. If you notice off to the right-hand side, it has several different tabs. It gets you to Edgenuity, the Infinite Campus Portal, the Student Infinite Campus Portal, the Internet Access, and then if you would scroll further down, you would see where it has the student and the parent expectations, as well as messages, important messages from central office. All right. On this page, you see a link. That link goes to the middle school and high school schedule, the secondary schedule. Whether your student is going to be a Edgenuity virtual student or a first quarter student, virtual student, all kids are going to be required to participate in our Hawk Times. That is with a direct purpose. We want to be able to make sure that we have contact with the kids. We don't want our Edgenuity kids to lose contact or be left out of communication with the rest of the teachers. So everybody in the middle school will have a Hawk Time. Hawk Times will be every day from 9:15 to 9:45. So middle school students' days actually start at 9:15. Prior to that, teachers are in their office hours, meetings, plan time, etc. Mondays and Wednesdays are our first, second, third, and fourth hour classes. Students start those at 10 o'clock. Each class is 45 minutes long. We have 15-minute breaks between each class, as well as an hour and 15-minute lunch built in there. We want our kids to be able to balance not only exercising their brains, but also exercising their bodies. So that's why we built in some of those breaks in there. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, it's your third, fourth, and fifth, or I'm sorry, fifth, sixth, and seventh hour classes. And they have the breaks for lunch as well as the breaks between the classes. So the kids can get between one teacher and get to another in a timely fashion, still have a snack, still get some exercise in and some movement. The schedule was set up very purposefully to be the way it is. Since we've been in a pandemic, everybody's schedules tend to be all over the place. No two families have the same schedules based on their needs. But at some point, the students are coming back to us. So that's why we wanted to make sure that we get them on a routine very similar to a regular school day. That way they're prepared when they come back, and it's not such a shock to their systems when we roll back in the buildings. Ms. Steinkamp, do you want to talk about Campus Learn a little bit?
Sure. So Campus Learn it's nothing new. We've always had it. When our students will log in to their portal, when parents log into their portal, Campus Learn is just going to be that landing page. It's that first page. And what will come up is your student. It'll have upcoming assignments, current assignments, maybe past due assignments if any of that's current. But that is where your teachers will be communicating what the lessons are, links for them to go to in order to get materials. Some of them may be linked back to either a Microsoft Team like we used in the spring, or maybe a Google Classroom, as a lot of our teachers have gone to. So that way more of that interaction will happen. So Campus Learn is really important for everybody to log into first thing every morning, because that's really what's going to tell you what you've got to do that day. Not only do the students need to log in, parents, we really need you to stay on top of that. I know for my kiddos, it's going to be everybody gets up, we do our morning stuff, and then everybody sits down and we log in, and I want to see what you're doing every day. So I have an idea of where they're going to be and what they're going to be responsible for. It's imperative that everybody has their login information and that it works. So if you've never logged into Infinite Campus, we need to get you set up. We need to make sure that all of everybody's students and parents, your passwords work. And if they don't, reach out to us so that we can get those reset, because that's really going to be the first step in making sure you get what you need. So like I said, it's nothing new. It's always been there. It's just going to be much more detailed when you log in from now on. Okay. All right, Dr. Muzzy.
Oh, student learning expectations. We've got some expectations for you guys. Very similar, nothing new to the regular classroom when we're in person. Do you have that link, Ms. Steinkamp? Oh, there we go. Can everybody see the student expectations? They're broken down into 3 different categories: technology, time management, workspace, and accountability and success. Like I had said earlier, this is different from the spring. It will be more like a regular classroom and more rigorous in the spring. You'll be learning new things and moving forward with your education. So to start out with, technology is a huge piece in this whole process. I will tell you, our technology department has been absolutely amazing. Anytime a parent contacts me regarding something that I can't address with technology, I forward it to the technology team. I let the parents know it's been forwarded, let them know that they should hear something by the end of the day, and within usually 10 minutes to a half hour, the technology team already has the problem solved and take the parent taken care of. So any technology needs, please make sure that you let us know, and we have contact information for the technology team down at the bottom there on the page, just under the Just Ask section. It's important that the kids check their portal daily. parents check the portal with them as well. Um, when you get your planners that the PTO has provided, there is a page in there for passwords. Highly recommend that you put your passwords in there because it is so easy to forget a password. Um, and there are some things that you will need or the students will need access to that we cannot help them with. We don't keep passwords. And it may be a phone call to the technology department to reset those passwords. So best bet is to record those in your planner, keep your planner handy. And make sure that when you are online, that you are following, the expectation guidelines of the user agreement, as well as that you're participating in the activities with your teachers. Time management and workspace, dedicating appropriate time to learning. We want you to be balanced as well, so make sure you're not only dedicating time to your learning, but also to your body exercise. Make sure that you're submitting all your assignments on due dates. In the spring, I believe all assignments were due on Friday. Assignments this fall will be at teacher's discretion, so as far as due dates are concerned, your teachers will let you know what their individual due dates for their assignments. Make sure that you identify a comfortable and quiet space to study and keep up with your study so you don't fall behind, because it's so easy to do and it's so hard to catch up. Accountability, you will be held accountable for your learning. You will receive grades, and we are taking attendance as well. The state is not waiving that for us this time around. So every time you log on for a class, the teachers are required to take attendance. So be there and be present. Make sure that you participate in the activities, and the more you participate, the more aware that you're there. So if you come in late and you jump in and participate right away, that they'll know to mark you present as opposed to absent. Because once they start teaching, they may not think to look to see if anybody else has come in. So make sure you're doing that. And you will be receiving grades on your learning in the fall, or actually next week when we return, and those will be part of your transcripts and go in your permanent records. So at the bottom, that's important information to have. Not only is that important for counseling technology and staff directory, but there's also social media information down at the bottom, so you can stay on top of some of the things going on in the district and what might be new. And then we have the parent expectations on the next page. Those are very similar to the students. It's basically everything we've covered, but please support your child. Make sure you're staying up on their learning and knowing where they are, reminding them to check their portal and make sure that they're turning their assignments in. I know a lot of kids sometimes get the work done, they just forget to turn it in. So, those reminders are very important in supporting your child. So once again, make sure that as the parent, you're accessing the parent portal, checking students' progress weekly. Ensure that your students are following the guidelines for proper use of technology. Ensure that they do know where the passwords are. Remind them where they put that planner that has their passwords in it. Read through every single one of these because you will be getting this, but communication is key in this time period. Communicating with teachers, concerns sooner than later. If you have any concerns, it's best to, in particular class, go to the teacher first because they can speak to their particular class. If it's something office related, that would be Ms. Steinkamp or myself. And then once again, if you have a technology issue, that would be with the tech department. Make sure you're monitoring your child, supporting them, providing them the opportunities for physical activity as well as their educational experience. Make sure they have a quiet place and they have a good place to study. And make sure that they're turning in your work like I had mentioned before. Just, that simple question, or hey, let's just look over your work together. I know that sometimes it's not always easy to keep up on everything, but it's like I said, it's a lot easier to keep up on things than when you fall behind and getting caught up. That can be very difficult. And I know children sometimes, believe it or not, may tell you they've turned something in. So it might be important for you to have them show you that they've turned it in as well. So speaking from my own experience as a parent. All righty, and then again, it has information about social media. So, Ms. Schrader, I'm letting you take over now.
Thanks. And my internet is unstable too now, so we'll see if I can get through this. I'm Julie Schrader. I'm the special education coordinator actually for the entire Valley Park School District. And just nothing really a lot different than what Dr. Muzzy and Ms. Steinkamp have been talking about in the sense of our professional learning for our staff and then also the schedule. So that's the wonderful thing about Valley Park, and what we do here is that we are in complete alignment. So our services and our schedules will run in conjunction with Valley Park Middle School. Our staff will have the same office hours, and we will continue to use that same platform through Infinite Campus and Campus Learn. So those things will just fall really naturally with everything that Valley Park is already doing. Just those services will be provided by special education staff. Thanks, Erin. On this part of the presentation, it just goes over some different roles. So if your child does have an IEP, it just talks a little bit more about those case managers, those related service providers, and then our paraprofessionals. Again, not a whole lot different than what we do on a regular basis when we're in person doing our instruction. The biggest thing is that as we do those distance learning plans, we're adjusting that based on those virtual schedules and making sure that we're still working towards those goals and meeting those service requirements. My contact information is here. It's also at the end of the presentation. Your case manager for your student is your first line of contact, as always. Obviously myself, Dr. Muzzy, Ms. Steinkamp are all here to support all of our students. And so there are also resources on the bottom. So even if your student does not have special needs, there are some resources that you can access in addition to the resources that Valley Park has out there as well. And then just like with Valley Park, you know, we are changing every time we get new information, and the bottom line is we're here to educate your students. We're excited to be back, even if it is virtually. So again, please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or need any help with anything.
Thanks, Mrs. Schrader.
Thank you.
All right, guys, Edgenuity. About last month, everyone was asked to make a decision about what learning path that you'd like to take, which was either an in-person path, hopefully coming back to us at some point, or if you were going to go 100% online through our Edgenuity platform, which is just the curriculum platform. What I need to tell you is we are going to start sending out information tomorrow morning for those of you who did choose that learning path. It will have information on how to log in, also the invite for the orientation that we will host on Thursday night. Edgenuity looks a little different. Right now, your child still has a regular schedule in Infinite Campus. That will change in the next day. We did get everyone uploaded. They're ready to go. What we need everybody to understand is those of you who did choose the Edgenuity path, that is 100% virtual that you chose to be in for the whole semester. You committed to that semester. And those of you doing that, that is a self-paced program. We do have it set that parents will be able to monitor that. Every week you're going to get a progress report on your child. It'll tell you how many times they've logged in, how long, things that they've completed, and what their score was on those activities. Those still do count as grades for your courses. The courses match up. They're going to look in terms of titles a little bit different, but they do match up. We'll go over all of that Thursday. But we need you to understand that it is very important, because it is self-paced, that you are staying on top of your child, making sure that they're doing this, because hopefully by the time we get ready to start second semester, everyone will be able to come back and we'll pick up where we left off. So that's Edgenuity. Like I said, for those of you who did choose that option, we will be sending more information out tomorrow. Just be available for that. If you need anything, let me know. All right, Dr. Muzzy.
All righty. So at this point, we're getting to the end of our presentation. If you have any further questions, concerns, you can, we'd like for you to shoot us an email, the questions in email format. That way we can compile those and send those out to parents, because there may be other parents that couldn't make it tonight that have very similar questions, or there might be parents on this Zoom meeting that have very similar questions, and to respect everybody's time, we feel like that would be the most efficient way. Plus, we have the exact verb that was used in the question. We can respond to it exactly as it's worded. So if you click to the next slide, Ms. Steinkamp, that's my closing remarks. But the slide after that is contact information. So this is embedded in the presentation. You will have this when it gets sent out to you. For closing remarks, I just appreciate the time that you spent with us this evening. I know this wasn't the most exciting thing to do on a Tuesday evening, nor is it the most exciting information it's pretty much sit and get, but it's essential for the success of your students, and just you being here, and even the students being here, shows how important that education is to the families that have joined us, and we just greatly appreciate it. Ms. Steinkamp, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, just again, we appreciate all your time. We know that this is an adventure in multiple ways, but truly reach out. We don't want people to be at home being frustrated with the situation, or what we think is easy and we understand it may not be translating to some families, because you don't have the background that, we know Infinite Campus and you don't. Reach out. I don't want you to be frustrated. Let us know if we can help, and I am more than happy to walk people through whatever they need. So we're really all in it together, and the more we collaborate, the better this is going to be.
I think this is going to be an amazing year. It's going to be a lot of learning for both adults and students, but I have great feelings, and I'm very positive that this is going, first off, it's going to be a year like no other. But I also think that with the work that our staff is putting into it, that it's definitely going to be an amazing year. It's going to be a great experience for your children. Do know that as I don't feel like my only role in the building is principal. I have 3 children. They are raised, so your babies are my babies. I love these kids like they're my own, and I will do everything I can to support them and provide them with the education that they need. So I do want you to know that. And I feel like our staff all feels that way. Mm-hmm. I think our teachers take that role of not only being an educator, but being a good role model and being a support for each of our children very seriously, and they do a really good job with that. Julie, is there anything you'd like to add before we get off here?
No, just I would have to say, though, this is my 5th presentation with a variety of schools and grade levels, and this by far, you guys did amazing. So students out there, you are setting the tone very well for the middle school, and I'm very proud of everyone for their participation tonight. It was great.
8th grade was awesome, for sure.
You're awesome.
Very proud of you guys, and your parents as well.
Yes.
All righty, Dylan, if you want to hang on for just a second, I'll talk to you for just a second, okay? I'm going to start exiting the meeting, so if you have any questions, just email us.